Hey, this is Bombshell in the Burbs. I normally post videos about superficial things, makeup and the like, best makeup, this and that. But this time I actually have decided to do a video about something more serious that I know a lot of people have been to. So I've kind of hit a midlife marriage crisis, and I had decided in my mind a week ago that I was going to separate from my husband, and that conclusion did not come lightly and was a culmination of many thoughts and things that transpired probably for the last 4 years. I am currently married, and I have been married for 10 years, or in 6 weeks it will be our 10-year anniversary. And we have two beautiful children who we have dedicated the majority of that time to our kids, and we have neglected ourselves as a couple. And I do want to preface that I am not in a situation of any abuse or verbal abuse, physical abuse to myself, my child, and in those circumstances, I am not a proponent to stay. And but my situation is probably like the majority of a lot of marriages in distress. You know, there's no communication, you run out of love, and there's no passion, and you just kind of shut off and you kind of become roommates. And so I am not going to put my current husband's name. I'm not going to trash him. That's not what this is for. This is strictly for anyone who might be in the same position as me, who has, you're just at your breaking point. You've been trying to communicate and, what your needs are, what your wants are, and for whatever reason they haven't been met or they haven't seeped through. And so now I've come to the point of separation. And of course now my husband's finally paying attention and has decided to do some work, and I don't trust it. And I am frightened, and it's scary, and like every woman, I went and got a crazy haircut to show it. So if you knew me before, you'd know that I probably would have never gotten this haircut. And literally right now my hair is imitating my life. Like, I'm fully aware of how crazy this looks. So before you decide to write any comments of how I look like I got electrocuted, I'm well aware of what my hair looks like. And I'm just in a place in my life where I just don't care. I just wanted to chop off all my hair because I feel already skinned. I already feel extremely vulnerable, and I feel naked. And so I have got nothing to lose, and it's just hair. So, but I'm going to start a project of basically either to separate or stay. And I've attempted several times to repair our marriage. And they have fallen short. And that's because by the time we decide to repair, or we get to the point where we're going to repair it, so much damage has already been done. And by that I mean I'm fully aware of all the issues with the relationship, and then by the time I tell him, then he decides to start the repair, but then I no longer trust him, or that he's going to do it, or if he does it, it's not going to last very long, and so why put myself through this cycle anymore? But I oddly enough today came to some strange conclusion after watching lots of YouTube videos, not other people's experiences, but that, women are usually the first initiator, and why women just up and leave. And I had never looked outside myself to see that. And when I watched these videos, and I'll add the link there so you can watch them if you're interested, I realized my part in it, and that I was never really giving it 100% before. I just had been giving and giving and giving while I was still in the marriage. And then when I decided to leave the marriage, then he would step forward, and I'd be like, great, well now, I've exhausted all my energy up to this point. All I've got left is 20, so you have to meet me with 80%, which isn't fair. But to be honest with you, leaving just sounds so much easier. And I know for someone who's been through it, that is not the case, because you're on the other side and you know all the work. But in the moment when you're in it and you've just exasperated and you've got nothing left, in this moment, it does sound easier. But I know that it will devastate my children. And for that reason, and because I know I play a part in it, I've decided to school myself on the art of marriage and really take a look at my contribution to it and how I can fix it. And then I can say, if I have to walk away and separate, I gave it 100%. And I know that I didn't before. And so I'm going to make the change. And right now I seem really calm and cool and collected. But I promise you, I have spent an entire week just crying. And it's really hard to do, to find time to process things when you have kids. So you do it in your car because it's the only safe space, right? So that you can keep your strong front and not let your children see it. So this is a new project for me, and I will take you through the journey for anyone who's going through it, and whatever lessons I pick up, or whatever things I decide to try, or whatever I learn from our therapist, or whatever I get from all the resources from my friends who have all these great videos that I've never really looked at, but I'm going to do it. I will share that with you. I will share the journey, and then hopefully maybe either if I have to separate at the end because it's still not working, then I will be a more complete person for the next person I meet, or I will have saved it and maybe given you some tips on how to save yours too. I am not a professional. I'm just someone who's going through it and figures I have to give it the best shot I can for the sake of my kids, because I'm not being abused and it's not anything like that. It's literally just like everyone else. You get comfortable and you fall out of it and you stop talking, or the passion is gone, and we were just planning our 10-year anniversary trip, and that was the first trip we would have had in the 10-year marriage without our children. So that's a huge factor, that we're just amazing parents. I can say that wholeheartedly, that my husband is an amazing father, and we've just worked really hard at being amazing parents for our kids, but we've just really sucked butt at being an amazing couple. And I think it's time to give that a shot. And I'd rather pull back away from, being this tremendous, amazing mom for a hot minute, for a month or two, if it means it's going to keep my family together for many years to come, because that's way better for my children. So before anybody who watches this and decides to write some nasty comment, because people love to hate on people, I would ask you to refrain. And don't be a hater, be a love, because Lord knows right now in our world we need a lot more love. So I'm going to try to believe in the art of love. I'm going to try to give it a try. And if you're going through it, please send me a comment, and I would love to try to be there for you during your experience, and I will certainly share mine. And if you're my friends watching this, you are amazing and you've really been there for me, so I thank you. And if you're my husband's friends watching it, then I hope that you will motivate him to continue the process with me so that we can work as a unit together. And if I don't know you, but you're watching it, then I hope that you find what you're looking for as well, and that you find happiness. That I want my husband to be happy. I want to be happy. I want my children to be happy. And I don't think that's so wrong to want all of that, to ask for it. So here's to trying. This is tape 1. We'll see where it goes. Midlife marriage crisis, save, or stray. Not stray like that. We'll see.